as Chief Justice since the latter part of April till now, and now he has been nominated for the substantive Chief Justice with the wealth of experience that he comes in with. At the time that the judiciary finds itself now, and all the issues that you have outlined, Justice Paul Baffoe, the man for the job, you say?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, we did this interview earlier in the week, and I said he's a man for the job because, and I'm sure Prof had earlier on made the point, I think some months ago, about seniority, right? So on the Supreme Court bench, Baffoe is the most senior. Even though Justice Amadou Tanko is senior at the bar, that's Amadou Tanko, and I think Mensa Bonsu. Yeah, they were called, yes. But in terms of the Supreme Court bench, Baffoe is far senior to them because they came, was it sometime 2018 or 19, thereabout. Yeah, but Baffoe has been on the bench from 1996 or 97. Oh. Yes. 96. Yeah, he started in the Circuit Court. Then the year 2000, Rollins appointed him to the High Court. Then 2006, Akufo brought him to Court of Appeal. Then 2008, he made it to the Supreme Court, right? So I say that because he's the senior most, it's okay that it goes to him. And then more exciting is the fact that this is a Akufo appointee to the Supreme Court. And we all know we don't want to play ostrich with it. To get to the Supreme Court, you don't write an exams. It's political connection. That's the first thing.
Oh, it's competence. It's competence.
I know that's taking.
So do you put competence over whatever connection you talk about?
So first of all, it's political connection.
It's political connection. That's what competence.
We are hoping that the president. I mean, every appointment that is made by politicians, we are hoping that the president is competent. Please. But the criteria is that you have to be appointed.
I don't think that it will even be fair to the people.
This is the process we have designed.
Wait.
This is not a bad commentary on the people. The process we have designed is that you have to catch the eye of the executive. That's it. So if you're talking about reform, we can reform it. But that's it.
I'm not talking about. I'm not saying it doesn't play a role. Do you put competence or political connection over competence? So-called.
Everybody is competent. So you see, the problem is that when I'm communicating, we are very little. I don't know, maybe in a minute you'll stop me. So I go straight for the jugular, the most important thing. Because if I go and start from competence, integrity, by the time I'm coming to the most essential one, then you say no. The perils of. So I'm going for the most important. When I finish that and you give me more time, then I can go for the constant. So the constant is that he's been when I said he's been a judge since 1997, blah blah. I read all that. It's presumed that he's competent. That's why he's been there. If he wasn't competent, you'd have been removed a long time ago. So I won't waste any more time on the word competence. You see, so I go straight for the jugular. That is political connection. So the thing is that so he had enough political connection for Akufo to take him to the Supreme Court, and that's 2008, right?
Yes.
Now. How many years on? Almost 16 years on. President Mahama is making Chief Justice. So the point I want to say is that political connection with Akufo means that he subscribes to the MPP ideology and philosophy. So for President Mahama to overlook Justice Puaman, who is Mahama's own appointee, it tells you that we've made a huge stride forward. It's huge progress because usually every president will want to appoint people who belong to their political persuasion. I mean the ideology. You see, the ideology, the philosophy. So to see that Justice Puaman is on the Supreme Court bench, yet President Mahama went for Baffoe, I think that yes, we should commend President Mahama for it. He didn't just say that, I'll look at my own appointee and give him the job. No. Says Baffoe, yes, you are Akufo appointee, but you have the job because you are competent, you have this is the requisite integrity, etc. And most especially let's put another reason I'm excited that Baffoe is made it is that during the Akufo Addo time, Akufo Addo ostracized and hounded Baffoe ad nauseam, day in day out. Baffoe, they wanted him to resign. From what I've heard from certain sources, they wanted him to resign. Godfred was sent to go and broker a deal.
The sources told you that?
Yes. And I've said it a number of times here. If it was false, I'm sure it would have taken me on. They were hounding him out of office because Baffoe had the temerity to to vote against Akufo Addo in the election 2012 petition. Okay. You know the matter of the presiding officers who didn't sign
the signature.
If Baffoe had voted for Akufo Addo, then it would have thrown the elections into a second round because all those constituencies, etc., they were to be nullified. You say, but because Baffoe didn't vote for Akufo Addo on the bench at that time, when Akufo Addo took office, Akufo Addo never forgave Baffoe for it. So they gave him hell. They gave him hell. It was pathetic. Even Jubilee House, for most part, was a no-go area. He wasn't welcome to the Jubilee House, etc. It was so horrible. Why do you think Akufo Addo got that name, Nebuchadnezzar, etc.?
Is that to say that even though seniority is a big consideration at the bench, other elements could still water down that particular consideration of seniority?
Oh, absolutely.
The person can appoint anybody.
Anybody, just like, so let's go to Justice Tokono. At the time she was appointed, she had at least not less than 7 seniors ahead of her. I think some people say 11. But I'm just, I think I've heard 11. So, Baffoe is senior to her, right? On the Supreme Court bench. Puaman, Tanku, I mean, there's Avril Johnson, Mariama, Doji, of course, they have since retired, etc. There were a lot of seniors ahead of her, but she got the nod. Okay, so it's not, you won't find a straight textbook on it. It's a lot of horse trading, negotiations here and there, but key among them, usually, presidents are looking for loyalty. They want to go to bed, okay, in peace, or they sleep soundly, knowing that if a case comes to the Supreme Court, they will win. You know how politicians are. They don't want to be saddled with Supreme Court losses here and there. They like to win. You see how the Domlevo case, when we sued, Kofi Bettel and I, we sued on behalf of CDD, etc., ASEP, and all the One Ghana movement, etc. You see how the case delayed. It delayed because
we were winning.
Yes. You see, even though at a point we also contributed, there was fatigue, this up and down, go and file issues. At a point we also were tired, you get. But bottom line, when the court, the key things are if the court wants to move, it will move. If you don't bring your issues, the court can sit there and say, look, these are the issues we've identified. We are going ahead with judgment. You remember when you want to see the speed, Oliver and Kofi is here. You were a lawyer in the Asian, what's his full name? The pink sheet case.
Yes,
that they send you into their own offices one day that produce the issues and then let's adjourn for judgment.
They reconstituted the court in a different room. The justices went and sat there. They summoned the lawyers. They put us in a room to rewrite and amend the LI.
So the
reason why pink sheets today had the main that case, and credit to my senior Sheshi for him, and when the court wanted to take action, in fact the Supreme Court chamber was under renovation or something. They moved it into a different place. They finished the case. They ordered us into a room. We sat there for hours, redid that rule, came back and adopted it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had pink sheets. That election was going to go some other way. So if they want to do it, they will do it.
So that's the point. So that's to buttress the point that when the court wants to move swiftly, they do it. But sometimes when strategic reasons...
When they want to find excuses to delay to...
You say, so that's the point. So with all of this, I think that the appointment is good. Baffoe is learned, from the 97, there about 96 as a circuit court judge. So it means that he's gone through, apart from the district court, meaning that he's gone through all the courts, circuit court to high court to court of appeal to Supreme Court. So hopefully that would show in his administration. And you see how earlier 2 days ago, he met the Law Society of Ghana, the other umbrella group. And it's good. It's good that we're going to have a second bar association. I welcome it. And it's good Baffoe met them and told them, look, go through the law and be recognized. Because we don't want one bar association which will be hijacked by one political party.
Well, that's the point. Other side at the Supreme Court on this matter.
No, he said they should go through.
No, he's adding commentary.
I said that we don't want one bar association which has been hijacked by one political party.
You said.
And it's being used against the other political party. So when there are two, we'll get plurality of voice.
Well, I think the distinction is important.
Yes, it's important so that people don't think he said it.
It will be ridiculous. He can't
No,
say that.
you never know.
Speaking
That's
to the
why the
public.
distinction is important. But you
Okay,
see,
no, he couldn't have said that. Hey, you create trouble.
you see, because
Like the
Oliver
vet.
and Lama Kpebu are on the same tangent about this connection, as you call it, are there not enough measures in place to ensure that even if you get to the apex with whatever connections you have, you are whipped in line in whatever you do, so that, like Kpebu says, what a president will not want to go to bed worrying about
Yeah, how the judges
how the judges would
so they
rule
want
on a
their
particular
lawyer
case.
friends.
Are there not structures in place to check that? If you go outside of what is prescribed, you could be petitioned and removed, as we have seen, is it not?
So, I mean, I'm going to speak on this from a constitutionalist point of view, and who is interested in constitutional reform. When it comes to the superior courts, High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, there's no promotion within that court structure. Every appointment is a fresh appointment. So if you're a High Court judge and you're appointed to the Court of Appeal, you have not been promoted to the Court of Appeal. You have been appointed to the Court of Appeal. So it's a different process. Now, who makes the appointment? The ultimate buck stops at the presidency. The Judicial Council can get involved and make recommendations. That's fine. But the truth is that the Supreme Court itself has recognized in GBA as Attorney General that the ultimate decision is the president who makes it. When the president decided that he was not going to appoint Bensa Bonsu and appointed Puaman, he made that decision on his own without whatever recommendations we have given to him. So the truth is, the considerations that go into why the president will make that decision, presuming that you have met the basic constitutional qualification, that you have integrity and you have made 15 years at the bar, that decision is unimpeachable. If the president can do it for whatever reasons, he can do it as to whether or not he perceives your line of thinking and reasoning to be opposed to his political philosophy and for which reason he wants dissent on the bench, he can do that. If he thinks that, looking at how your judicial thinking is, we are more comfortable with you, he's entitled to do that. The former Supreme Court Justice Atuguba, has made it clear that, but this is exactly what we want, that the president will be making a decision. So anybody who is appointed, we must presume that this is somebody that the party and the presidency is comfortable with. And we must live with that choice that we have made, or we must reform it. So that's kind of my thinking around this. But that does not discount the fact that, Chief Justice, potential Chief Justice Baffoe is stepping into a role in which, from at least the little we have said here, we can tell that there's so much problems within the judicial system. It is not fit for purpose in delivering the justice that we require. It is not. Nowhere close. Even, and I have talked about even the corruption within the judicial service itself. One of the things when I started the law firm was that I told my staff, we are not going to pay any bailiff to go and serve a process. Then it means that my clients will all leave me. Because none of your processes will be served. We are routinely paying people to go and serve a process for you. That is unconscionable.
After paying legal fees.
After paying legal fees. It's unconscionable. Now, to determine whether or not somebody has filed something, you have to write a letter, you have to go to the registry, go and pay, search, wait for this, to determine whether or not the person has even entered appearance. How can I not have a system when I say that, okay, this is there, the person has already entered appearance? So there's so much.
The system is there, they are not using it.
It is such a system that I don't understand what we have created. I don't get it. So the job for
leave it and come and teach.
so
Somebody should fix it.
I don't get it.
Somebody should come and fix it.
So there's so much problems across board that only a reform-minded Chief Justice can get us where we need to go. He has a few years when he comes in to be able to take us there. And by some strange reason of coincidence, he is head of our judiciary and his wife is head of the prison service. These are key institutions in our criminal and our justice system. So how they plan reform from home and come and deliver it to the public, they have to figure out how we get it. But because we are in such let's not mince words about it, we are in a mess. It's a complete mess. So many of the problems we have, our ability to restrict public officers, our ability to get the executive to conform, a lot of it deals with our inability to get anything done with the court system. Nothing.
The whole country down.
I'll give you an example. I have been representing individuals that were deported from the US. In the US system, the names of these individuals is a way in which you can anonymize it. We don't have any of that procedure here. You must disclose who the applicant is. To file a lawsuit, you must disclose your private residential address. What is the privacy concerns around that? When you have an emergency application that you are supposed to make, and when I say emergency, not every emergency must be ex parte. Sometimes it must be on notice. You have to be able to file it for the agents to respond. The US, they have it. Everybody's responding immediately. The judge can take it by video in their home, wherever. We don't have any process. This is why the police can wait. When we have notified them for 3 months to go on a protest, the night before they go and file a process, and you tell me that you must wait for another 3 days to go. It's a mess across board. So I don't know who is like, there's no design thinking, systems thinking in terms of how we administer the judiciary. And then when there's no justice, then we all come and complain, then we go and vote again. And new people will come to tell us to give us the same thing. But the systems element stays the same. And nothing is going anywhere. So for me, those are the critical things I want the Chief Justice to be judged on. And hopefully we see real momentum on that, you know?
And that's a system is inheriting. But then again, how many years does he have to stay as Chief Justice?
Oh, a lot can be done in a year. A lot can be done in reforms in a year.
Next year.
You know,
That's a little over a year.
a lot can be done in terms of reforming the
Let's be
system.
clear, not much can be done in this country in 1 year trying to move around a ship like the Judicial Service. It is not difficult, it's not equal to impossible. All right? If they get a crazy guy in that place, he will insist that in 6 months, that multi-million-dollar IT system that we have put in place be used. Some of the things Oliver is saying, they sound crazy, but there's no reason why we don't have it. Look, we had to even amend our LI, okay, to allow electronic service. I have been saying for at least 5 years now that there should be a system by which once a lawyer gets onto the file, that lawyer will be served by email. And the system we have now, it is possible for you to be able to check these things in your office. They simply won't use it. The problem in our judicial system is the judicial service. It's not just even the judges and the lawyers. The service, like you said, the bailiffs. You pay filing fees, you still have to pay a bailiff, then you have to follow up. You want to do a simple search, and it's a mess. Something that you should be able to do on a computer. We can go on and on and on and on. But my point is, it will take strong men standing up, and this is not a matter of law, it's a matter of administration, okay, and executive management, to say that, look, this system must work because we've spent the money on it. Look, for instance, transcription. We spent money on microphones, equipment, and all those things. Simple maintenance, okay? In a short while, in a matter of months, they were all shoved aside. We go to court, we stand there, and you should be speaking while somebody is typing. The person who is typing is not the lawyer. Sometimes you use legal terms, and you have to repeat it 2, 3, 4 times. It's not their fault. Okay, that thing even messes with your mind. All right, there's no reason why it should be so. When today there is very cheap software, in fact, some of it can be on your phone. By the time you finish AI, it will summarize, give you all the key points and everything. Years ago, outside, I will mention, you go to court today, all right, in 24 hours, you receive in your email the full record of the previous court session. There's no reason why we can't have it here today. All right, so those are system issues, and I think they can be dealt with. On the substantive issue of the appointment of the new Chief Justice, look, there is no lawyer who knows what he's talking about who will deny that Justice Baffoe is extremely experienced and competent for the job. There's no problem there. Okay, really, my only issue really is that for somebody who has paid his dues this much, his ascent to that place should be glorious. I think that there is a cloud, it's an unfair cloud around it because of the issues around CJ Tokono. Okay, and the point is, you know, we sat here and we spoke about the fact, look, the president has the power under our constitution to remove the CJ. Last week, I think Lawyer Duji sat here and said, somebody said the easiest person to remove in this republic is the Chief Justice because they take a petition and the president likes it. We should fix those things, but that's the law. The point is, CJ Tokono, I've seen a press statement, I think from her lawyers, saying that the procedures are not being followed. She has the right to appeal. She has the right to challenge some of the decisions. She has the right to some of the documentation. She has the right to some reports. She has the right to, certain things. Give it to me. Let me know what to do. Let me exhaust, the remedies available to me. And she's screaming and shouting from a certain place. And it looks like nobody's listening to her. It casts a shade over this Chief Justice's ascent to the table. And my view is that for a man like that, there should be no such cloud hanging over him. Why can't we just deal with the issues concerning CJ Tokono? All right? she's claiming there are procedural breaches and issues concerning her removal. Let's resolve them and let this man who has earned his place ascend to that place gloriously. So one, I have absolute respect for Justice Baffoe. He's been there all these years. Who has heard anything about him? All right. And like people are saying, sometimes you expect him to go this way, he'll go that way, not go. And I think he merits that position. In fact, it's a shame that he has so little time left. And these reforms and things, I would have been happy to help him to do it, for instance. But he has this little time. I think the time that he has, he should try and really break some things.
To break something?
Yeah.
Like what?
The system.
Okay.
And I keep saying, the judicial system. You see, it's hardened. All right? And you can't do anything about it. Look, we have paralegals. They go there, they are trying to do filing. They come back and they tell the master, this one, if you are not a lawyer, you can't get anything done. And like we are saying, we've spent millions of dollars on software, okay? They've chosen not to use it. All right? And the judges are stressed. Okay? They have to do so much work. All right? And I think that he should just be bold and fix this system. If he needs the help of Oliver and Co and whatever it is, we'll all be happy to jump in and do something. So one, it's sad that we are not dealing with the shade and the issues around Sigi Tokono so that will be cleared and then he can ascend clearly. That's one. Number two, he does have a challenge coming forward. Look, until you know some of the history, people think that, President Mahama has removed one person and he's going to put, his person there. So he will carry that baggage too, and he would have to deal with it. So dealing with the executive is another challenge that he will have. You have a situation where, like I said, the president is becoming imperial because clearly Parliament can't control him. All right? And then there will be this perception around the new CG that, he put you there. And the thinking is that if he put you there, you are going to do his bidding. He has to show that he's not going to be anybody's, do anybody's bidding. And then he needs to leave a legacy, short as his time is. For me, I think that's some sort of advantage too. If you have a long time, you have more to fear. Short time, do what you have to do. When the time is come, you move. There is a reform going on, and I'm extremely grateful for it.